Let's get started with the second square. So again, this one will be a color B and this one will be a color A. We will again start with working 8 double crochet into a magic loop. I always start my magic loop with 1 chain just to secure it, 1 chain, and 8 double crochets into the circle. And again, I am using UK terminology. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pull on your end, on your tail to close up the opening, and slip stitch into the very first stitch, and at the same time changing color. So slip stitch, insert your hook into the very first DC, grab your new yarn, grab your color A, and finish off the slip stitch with the new color. And now we will work chain 4, which counts as 1/2 treble and 2 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are going to work 1/2 treble into the next stitch. Not the stitch here, because that one is already taken by the chain 4, but this one here. So yarn around the hook and into the stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through, and then yarn around the hook and pull it through all those 3 loops on your hook. Okay, now chain 2 again and 1/2 treble into next stitch. Chain 2, 1/2 treble into the next stitch. Two, 1/2 treble into the next stitch, chain 2 into the next, chain 2, chain 2, and the last one. And we end our repeat on chain 2, and we will join our round by slip stitching into the second chain of our beginning 4 chains. So you'll be 1, 2, so you'll be this one here. So you enter your hook into the chain, and again we're changing our color, so drop this one to this side, pick up your gray, and finish off the round by slip stitching, finish off the slip stitch by slip stitching with the gray. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain spaces. So now we are ready for round number 3. We started off by slip stitching into the first chain space. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, and pull it through. Okay, so now we are in correct position. Okay, so we're going to start it with the beginning path. So again, chain 2 as in a square 1, and we're going to do 3 wraps into the chain space. So yarn around the hook, into the space, grab the yarn and pull it through. So that's first wrap. Yarn around the hook, into the stitch again, grab the yarn and pull it through. So that's a second wrap, and one more, yarn around the hook, into the space, grab it, pull it through. So that's 3 wraps. Yarn around the hook, and you're going to pull through all those loops on your hook. You have to wiggle it around sometimes for the yarn to go through smoother, and then chain 1 to lock it. Okay, now we're going to make another chain, and we're going to make one more path into the same space, but this time is a 4 wrap path. So yarn around the hook into this space, grab the yarn and pull it through. So that's 1, 2, yarn around into the space, 3, and one more. 1, 2, and that's 4. So that's 4 wraps on our hook. So yarn around the hook and pull it through all 3. Okay. Chain 1 to lock it. Put some fluff on my yarn. And then 1 more chain. And then we're gonna make 2 paths into next space. Yarn around the hook. And that's all 4 wraps. 2, 3, and 4. So that's 4 wraps, paths. And wiggle it occasionally around to make it easier to go through. Chain 1 to lock it, chain 1. So now you're going to work another path in this stitch, chain 1. So basically 2 paths in every single chain space with 1 chain in between them. So at the end of this round, your work should look like this. So we should have 16 paths all the way around. Okay, so the way we finish off this round, obviously we ended on chain 1. We're going to slip stitch it into the chain 1 at the top of the beginning path, because this is our starting point. So we're going to insert a hook there. We're going to change our yarn. So grab your contrast and pull it through. Pull on it a little bit so it's lock it. There we go. So now we are ready to start our next round. So chain 1, 1 double crochet into the top of the path, 1 double crochet into chain 1 space, 1 double crochet into the top of the path, and 1 double crochet into chain space. So all the way around. So 1 into path, 1 into space, 1 into path, 1 into space. So at the end of this round, your work should look like this. I absolutely adore this mint color. Look how delicious it is. Oh, it reminds me of an ice cream. Okay, so now to end our round, we need to slip stitch to our first double crochet. And again, we're changing color. So we're gonna put that one aside and grab our gray or our bee color. And that's it. So now we are ready for the next one. So we're going to start with chain 1, 1 double crochet into the first stitch, chain 2, we're going to miss the following stitch, and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And then chain 2, miss the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the following stitch. Chain 2, and all the way around. So miss stitch, double crochet into next, and chain 2 all the way in between. So when you finish that round, your work should look like this. As you can see, you've got little chain spaces all the way around. Okay, so we are ready for our next row. Let's just finish off this round by slip stitching into the first stitch, grabbing a new collar, and finishing off the slip stitch. So now we are ready. On the next round, we will work puff stitches into all those chain spaces. Just 1 puff stitch into every single chain space. We will miss those stitches here and work 2 chains in between every single puff. To start, we will start with the beginning puff, but we need to be in our first chain space. So what we will do, we will go into the chain space and slip stitch to be in a correct position. There we are. So now we are ready. So we're gonna work a beginning puff, so chain 2 and 3 wraps into the same space. 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to go yarn around the hook and through all those loops on our hook. 1 chain to lock, and then additional 2 chains. We're going to miss this stitch, the next stitch here, and we're going to work a 4 wrap puff into the following stitch. So yarn around the hook, into the stitch, into the space even. Grab the yarn and pull it through, yarn around the hook, into the space. So that's 2 wraps, 3 wraps, and 4 wraps. Yarn around the hook and pull it through all of those loops. Okay, let's this one as well. 1 chain to lock, and additional 2 chains. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to miss this stitch and again work puff in this stitch. Chain 2, miss, puff, all the way around. So after this round, our work should look like this. We should have 16 puffs all the way around. So now what we have to do is end our round by slip stitching into the chain on top of the beginning puff, and we're going to grab our new color and slip stitch it with the new color. I'll just put that one a bit tighter. There we go. Okay, so now we are ready for the next round. So on this round, we will start creating chain spaces that will be our corners when we turn this circle into a square. We're going to start this round by working 1 chain and 2 double crochets into the top of the beginning puff. So 1 and 2. And now what we're going to create in this space here, it's our first corner. We will work 1 treble, chain 2, 1 treble into this stitch here. So this is the stitch that we missed 2 rounds below. So yarn around the hook, insert your hook from front to back into that stitch. Make sure that you kind of bring it forward in front of those chains. Finish off the treble as normal. Then chain 2 and 1 more treble into the very same space. You see, bringing it to the front, so those chains are at the back so they don't get tangled. What I've done here, done something wrong here. Let's do that again. Yarn around the hook at the front of your work and finish off the stitch as normal. 2 and 2. See, so this is our first corner. So then in the next stitch, so this is the chain on top of our puff, we're going to work 2 double crochets. Okay, so what we're going to do in this space is we're going to work a half treble, again into the missed stitch from 2 rounds below. So we go yarn around the hook, into that stitch, again bring it forward, bring your hook forward, yarn around the hook, pull it through, and then finish off the half treble as normal. Okay, 2 double crochets into the top of the puff, And again, we're going to work one more half treble, 2 double crochet, one more half treble, 2 double crochet. Okay, so that one is our half treble. Finish off the half treble as normal, and then 2 double crochet into the top of the puff, half treble here one more time. Oopsie daisy, there we go, and 2 double crochets. So now if we look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4 puffs. So this is a corner. We want another corner space here. So what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 treble, chain 2 and 1 treble. Yarn around the hook into this space. Chain 2 and another treble in the same space. Excellent. And now 2 double crochet into here, and now again, you see, let's have a look. See, corner space, corner space. So we need 2 more corner space to make it a square. Don't worry if it's pulling a little bit, it will straighten out as the work grows. So don't worry about it at all. It will be a lot straight after, like this round. It will lie flat after this round. So now what I want you to do is work treble, 2 double, half treble, 2 doubles, half treble, 2 doubles, half treble, 2 doubles, and then we're going to make another corner space. So you see, so you've got in between every corner space, there's 3 spaces with 3 half trebles. Okay? So your square should look like this now, after finishing this round, you see? You've got chain spaces here, your corner spaces. So now on the next round, I don't want us to change color. So what we're going to do, we're going to just slip stitch into the first stitch. And leave it at that. And now we're just gonna work a simple row with increases in each corner. But we're going to work in half treble. So we're going to chain 2, which will count as 1 half treble. So now what we're going to do, we're going to work half trebles all the way around, and in a corner spaces we're gonna work chain 2 half trebles, chain 2, 2 half trebles. So we're gonna go yarn around the hooks and into our next stitch, which is this one here, because this one is taken by the chain 2. I'm gonna work a half treble here, then half treble into the following stitch, and then 2 half treble, chain 2, 2 half trebles, 1, 2, 2 chains and 2 more half trebles. And then work half trebles all the way to the next chain space. In chain space again, 2 half trebles, chain 2, 2 half trebles, and repeat this all the way around. Okay, so after this round, see, our square is evening out nicely. And now what we have to do, we have to close the round and change color, ready for our next round. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 at the beginning. So that's this one here. Put your yarn aside, grab your contrast. And now we are ready for our next round. Our next round is back post half trebles apart from the corners. In the corners we will work 2 half treble, chain 2, 2 half trebles. So we're gonna start our back post. Oh, I'm holding the wrong yarn. We're gonna start our back post half treble around the post of those chain 2 from the beginning. So yarn around the hook, enter your hook from back to front, around the post to back again, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then finish off the stitch. It's a little bit twisted, but it doesn't matter really. There we go. And then yarn around the hook, around the post of next stitch. So in from the back to the front, around the post, and to the back again. And finish off. Okay, so do that until you reach your chain 2 space or your corner space. There we go. I've got one more here. And in the corner we're gonna do 2 half trebles, chain 2, 2 half trebles. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2 more half trebles. And then we're going to work all the way around with back post half trebles around every single stem of every single stitch. And then in the corner here, 2 half treble, chain 2, 2 half treble. Okay? So after you finish this round, your square should look like this. And as you can see here, it creates a lovely definition from the previous round. So now, very simply, what we're going to do, finish off a square by slip stitching. So, well, finish off the round. Slip stitching with the new column. And then the next round is just simple double crochet all the way around apart from the corner. So in the corner we're gonna do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. We're going to start with chain 1, 1 double crochet into the very first stitch, then 1 double crochet into every single stitch to your chain space, to your corner chain space. Let's go there. Oopsie daisy. So when we come to our corner chain space, we're going to work 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet into the same chain space, and then 1 double crochet all the way around to your next corner space, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, then double crochet all the way around until every single side has been worked. So after the final round is finished, your square should look like this. All we have to do is finish off the round by slip stitching to first stitch we have made, and our square is complete. Hope you enjoyed making the squares as much as I have. They will make a wonderful cushion or even a blanket. Happy crocheting!